To begin with, I would like to call our first presenter, Professor Dr. Sadia Sultana, who is Professor of Obs and Gynae in Pakistan Railway Hospital, Rawalpindi. She is certified in lifestyle medicine. She will be presenting her article on the effect of adoption of lifestyle modification plan on middle-aged female with metabolic syndrome. Professor Dr. Sadia Sultana.
Ji, I welcome you all on behalf of Rifa International University in this first international conference of lifestyle medicine. Being the first presenter from the second most beautiful capital of the world, I feel deeply honored and it is my great pleasure. The background of this study, it dates back to my certificate course. A year ago, I attended the certificate course by Dr. Shagufta Feroz. She taught us about synchronized lifestyle modification plan and about the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. Synchronized lifestyle modification plan जब मैंने सुना तो पूरा मेरा जो सारी systems थे, sleep awake cycle, discipline about my diet, and about exercise, about relationships, about stress management, everything was entirely changed. Then there are 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. इसके ऊपर तो evidences भी बहुत ज़्यादा हैं और research भी बहुत ज़्यादा है. These are adopting nutrient-dense plant predominant eating patterns and optimizing and individualizing physical activity, managing stress, having good relationships, and avoidance of unhealthy substances, for example, alcohol and all these things. The question that arises in my mind was, how effective is adoption of this synchronized lifestyle plan and lifestyle medicine intervention in reducing the severity of metabolic syndrome? Our outdoor patients and indoor patients, they are mainly पॉलिसिस्टिक ओवरीज हो, उनको जो भी कुछ हो, मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम का कुछ ना कुछ तो जरूर होता है. हमारे तकरीबन 70, 80, 90% ऑफ इंडोर हाई रिस्क पॉपुलेशन इज हैविंग मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम. द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ माय स्टडी वाज टू प्रोवाइड एविडेंस अबाउट that counseling about lifestyle medicine and synchronized lifestyle modification plan by the middle-aged female with metabolic syndrome will improve their health. This was the objective of my study. Then I searched the literature and I could find only 1 to 2 similar studies in the literature. मुझे कोई study इस part of the world में नहीं मिली. So it was the main gap in the literature. My main outcome measures were actually based on the 6 pillars on the definition of metabolic syndrome. इसमें से 3 में से 6 out 5 में से 3 अगर positive हैं तो इसका मतलब है कि उसको मेटाबॉलिक सिंड्रोम है. एब्डोमिनल ओबेसिटी फीमेल में 35 इंचेस से ज्यादा, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर, लो HDL, हाई ट्राइग्लिसराइड, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर एंड रेज्ड फास्टिंग ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल. These were my outcome measures. Then coming to material and method, it was prospective cohort study and the venue was a railway teaching hospital. Sampling strategy was non-probability convenient sampling and 38 participants. Because इसको हम randomized control trial और तरह से भी किया जा सकता था, लेकिन हमारे पास shortage of time था. हमने अपने कोर्स में अपनी स्टडी कंप्लीट करनी थी because it was the requirement of that certificate course. Inclusion criteria I have already discussed. Middle-aged female with metabolic syndrome. Exclusion में हमने serious morbidity और data was analyzed. It was compiled at the start of study and then at 12 weeks. And then analyzed with SPSS version 12. P-value 0.05 was taken as significant. Then coming to the results. These are the demographic variables. आपकी ये जो है ना, इसमें IT वालों की खुद ही आगे जा रहा है और खुद ही पीछे हो रहा है. इसका कंट्रोल इसके साथ नहीं है. Demographic variables पे अगर हम आए तो mean age was 39. Starting BMI में statistical change हुई 12 weeks पे, weight में change हुई. सारी फीमेल थी, 23 मैरिड थी, 5 वर्किंग थी and 6 were degree holders. Then coming to the main outcome measures. These were my main outcome measures and I have found statistically significant improvement in almost all the parameters और ये सब हमारे रेजिडेंट्स ने, कंसल्टेंट्स ने डेटा, एंड इट इज एक्चुअली ट्रू डेटा. देयर आर वेरी सिमिलर स्टडीज इन द लिटरेचर. आप अगर लिटरेचर में जाएं तो आपके पास, थोड़ा सा ये डिस्टर्बिंग है, आईटी वालों को थोड़ा सा इसको कंट्रोल करना होगा. आपके पास डिफरेंट, आजकल बहुत ज्यादा आपके पास स्टडीज आ रही हैं अबाउट ये जो जापान की, कि उनकी लॉन्गेविटी ज्यादा हो गई, उनकी लाइफस्टाइल के ऊपर लोग बहुत रिसर्च कर रहे हैं. And these researches have been published, and some of these facts are now these have been converted into evidence-based recommendations. तो आप अगर ये स्टडीज को जाएं, एंड पे मैंने रेफरेंसेस दिए हुए हैं, तो यू कैन फाइंड आउट ह्यूज नंबर ऑफ स्टडीज internationally. There were few limitations. The sample size was the duration of study, the sample size, and challenge to generalize it on the population, because मेरी population तो सारी फीमेल थी, और सारी की सारी जो थी वो रेलवे हॉस्पिटल की थी. तो इम्प्रूव इसको कैसे किया जा सकता है? आप इसको रैंडमाइज करें, आप इसमें टाइप 2 डायबिटीज, क्रॉनिक इलनेसेस, एंड यू कैन इंक्लूड ऑल दीज थिंग्स, एंड देन यू कैन जनरलाइज इट ऑन एंड मल्टी, आप इसको सेंटर वो करें. फ्यूचर इम्प्लीकेशन आर स्टडी इज हेल्पफुल इन रीऑर्गेनाइजिंग एंड मैनेजमेंट प्लान्स फॉर chronic diseases and illnesses. The important thing is that it will give a direction to healthcare professionals for other sophisticated studies. Coming to the conclusion, this prospective study clearly indicates that higher adherence to lifestyle modification plan and synchronized lifestyle macro rhythms of environment को micro rhythms के साथ वो करके होम्योस्टेसिस को इंप्रूव करती है. इट शोज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ प्रोमोटिंग एंड काउंसलिंग द पेशेंट्स अबाउट दीज टू थिंग्स, एंड इट वुड आल्सो बी हेल्पफुल इन गाइडिंग द हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल्स फॉर अलाउंस ऑफ इट्स यूज इन देयर क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिसेस. वो अपनी क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिसेस में से यूज करें. Acknowledgement to Dr. Shagufta Feroz and to Rifa International University for providing me with this opportunity, and these are the references. With this, I thank you all for listening me patiently. Thank you so much. Questions abhi honge ya end? Yeah, at the end of the session, I would be pleased to give the answer. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us. Our next presenter is respected Professor Dr. Shazia Ali. She is professor and head of Department of Physiology at Islamic International Medical College, Rawalpindi. She is MPhil supervisor and certified in lifestyle medicine. Topic of her presentation is improvement in semen parameters through synchronized lifestyle modification program. Professor Dr. Shazia Ali.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Shazia Ali, and I'll be presenting a case study on the topic of improvement in semen parameters through synchronized lifestyle modification program that has been introduced by Dr. Shagufta Feroz. First of all, infertility. Let's talk about infertility. It is the failure to conceive regardless of the cause after 1 year of unprotected intercourse. It affects approximately 15% of the couples globally, and 50% of the cases are male factors is involved either as a primary cause or a combination with cause in the female partner. Prevalence of infertility in Pakistan is 21.9%. The association of lifestyle factors on reproductive health is receiving great attention these days. And what are these lifestyle factors? These are environment, sleep, stress, physical activity, and nutrition. These lifestyle factors are affecting male fertility by interfering with spermatogenesis, sperm motility, sperm DNA, chromatin integrity, and hormonal regulation. Let me introduce you to Synchronized Lifestyle Modification Program. It is a program in which it is personalized, homeostasis restoring, liver-centric program that works through correction of circadian rhythm. All lifestyle factors are synchronized with the circadian rhythm. This case study is about a 28-year-old, otherwise healthy male who presented at Mass Infertility Clinic with his healthy female counterpart with primary infertility for the past 5 years. History, physical examination, and lab investigations of the female partner was within normal limits. But on taking the history of the male partner, He gave history of long working hours with intake of processed food throughout and total sleep duration of 5 hours during the whole week. Physical examination showed a healthy male with BMI of 30 with no physical deformity. Lab investigations showed the serum levels of follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, testosterone, and prolactin. All these were within the normal limits. But semen analysis revealed a total sperm count of 3 million, a total sperm motility of 47%, and head and tail defects on sperm morphology. The couple was non-affording and they could not afford intracytoplasmic sperm injection as treatment for their infertility. Therefore, couple was advised to utilize fertile time period for 3 months along with SLP that was adopted by both the partners, which included proper diet, physical activity, and improved sleep with stress management. Results after 3 months of treatment showed an increase in the sperm count from 3 million to 8 million, and the motility of the sperms improved from 47% to 67%, and the BMI reduced from 30 to 28. The couple was having a positive pregnancy test with beta HCG levels of 6,862. So I would like to conclude in the end that synchronized lifestyle modification program adopted by the couple in the treatment for infertility provided to give fruitful outcomes. They were blessed with the happy, healthy baby boy, as you can see in the picture given below. So thank you very much. And these are my references. And if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful presentation. No doctor has ever healed anyone of anything in the history of the world. The human immune system heals, and that's the only thing that heals. Now it's time to call on stage our next presenter, Dr. Tayyiba Anis, who is postgraduate trainee in Physiology Department in Islamic International Medical College. She will be presenting on effect of synchronized lifestyle modification program and physiotherapy in improving diabetic peripheral neuropathy in various age groups. Dr. Tayyiba Anis.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Tayyiba Anis from Rifa Medical University, and today I am going to present an article, the title of which is Effect of Synchronized Lifestyle Modification Program and Physiotherapy in Improving Diabetic Peripheral Neuropathy in Various Age Groups of Neuropathy Patients. Starting with the introduction, diabetic peripheral neuropathy is one of the most common microvascular complications of type 2 diabetes, which can be defined as the distal degeneration of peripheral nerves affecting about 50% of diabetics after 10 years of duration. There are various forms of diabetic peripheral neuropathy in which the distal symmetrical polyneuropathy is the most common form, which can be defined as a length-dependent sensory and motor polyneuropathy attributed to metabolic and vascular alterations. There are various risk factors for the development of diabetic neuropathy, in which advancing age is a strong risk factor, thus increasing the prevalence of diabetic neuropathy with every decade of life. Whenever diabetes occurs, diabetic-related metabolic and vascular alterations, they lead to capillary and nerve damage, resulting in loss of sensation. So this loss of sensation further causes damage to the tissues, resulting in increased risk of infections, ulcers, and gangrene. To prevent these complications, as well as to decrease the progression of diabetic peripheral neuropathy, it can be managed through lifestyle modification program that include dietary modification and exercise, as well as the pharmacological interventions, which are oral hypoglycemic agents and insulin, and symptomatic treatment for the neuropathy. When we talk about the dietary modification, it can be synchronized with the circadian rhythm of the body through synchronized lifestyle modification program, which is defined as a personalized homeostasis restoring liver-centric program that works through correction of body's clock rhythm. So it favors the consumption of food at right circadian time, which can be used as a circadian clock targeted treatment for the diabetes and its complications. So the objectives of my study were to determine the effect of synchronized lifestyle modification program, physiotherapy, and combination of both on Michigan neuropathy screening instrument, Berg balance scale, serum levels of fasting blood glucose, HbA1c, lipid profile, as well as nerve conduction studies in various age groups of diabetic neuropathy patients on oral hypoglycemic agents and insulin. And objective was also to compare the effects of synchronized lifestyle modification program, physiotherapy, and combination of both on MNSI, Berg balance scale, fasting blood glucose levels, HbA1c, lipid profile, and nerve conduction studies. Now coming towards the material methods. The study was carried out at Physiology Department of Islamic International Medical College in collaboration with Physiotherapy Department of Railway Hospital for a duration of 1 year after the approval of Ethical Review Committee of Islamic International Medical College. It was a randomized control trial which was registered clinically under this registration number. About 240 diabetic neuropathy patients, they were recruited for the study through simple random sampling. The patients in the study included were males and females of 40 to 75 years of age who were clinically diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and peripheral neuropathy, while the patients who were excluded from the study were type 1 diabetics, non-diabetic neuropathy patients, and patients with other correlated comorbidities. We took about 240 patients which underwent through baseline investigations, including the assessment of their lifestyle pattern. And their lifestyle pattern was assessed through lifestyle medicine form, which included their timing of food, type of food taken in the breakfast, lunch, as well as their sleeping time and the walk time. Neuropathy was assessed by Michigan Neuropathy Screening Instrument, which consisted of a subjective and objective scoring, while the balance was assessed by Berg balance scale, which consisted of 14 tasks that were performed by the patients, and they were given tasks according to distance and time specific. Biochemical parameters that included were fasting blood glucose, HbA1c, and serum lipid profile, and they were done through enzymatic methods. While the nerve conduction studies of the lower limbs, including the peak latency, amplitude, and conduction velocity, they were performed for the lower limb nerves. After the baseline evaluation, these patients were divided into a group A, that was control group, and group B, that was experimental group. Now, depending upon their age, an older age group and a younger age group, patients were further divided into group A1 with age 40 to 60 years and group A2 with 61 to 75 years. Similarly, group B1 with 40 to 60 years and group B2 with 61 to 75 years. Now, depending upon their mode of treatment, they were divided into patients group 1 taking oral hypoglycemic agents, patient taking insulin, while the older group age group was further again divided into group 3 on oral hypoglycemic agents and group 4 on insulin therapy. Now, these groups received intervention in which first group received synchronized lifestyle modification program for 12 weeks in which the diet charts were handed over to the patients and they were instructed according to sync their food with their circadian rhythm. While the group 2, they received synchronized lifestyle modification program and physiotherapy, that was the combination of both. And these were the exercises that were carried out by the patients. While the group 3, they received physiotherapy only for the duration of 12 weeks. And after 12 weeks, the post-experiment evaluation was done, that again consisting of the same parameters. Now coming towards results, these are the demographic features of all the study population. When we compare the subjective scoring, MNSI subjective scoring, they showed significant decrease in scoring in all the experimental group as compared to control group, but the group 2B that was on insulin and was a younger age group receiving both combined therapy showed a significant difference. Similarly, MNSI objective scoring and the Berg balance scale, they also showed a significant improvement in experimental group as compared to other groups. Similarly, fasting blood glucose levels and the HbA1c level, they were found to be significantly reduced in experimental group as compared to control group, as well as the serum lipid profile in which the serum cholesterol, serum triglycerides, as well as serum LDL levels, they were found to be reduced significantly in all the experimental groups as compared to control group, with no significant difference among all the groups. When we compare the nerve conduction studies and the nerve conduction parameters in all the lower limb nerves, they were not found to be significantly improved in any of the parameters like peak latency, amplitude, and conduction velocity in the sural nerves, as well as in peroneal sensory nerve, peroneal motor nerves, and tibial nerves. So there was no significant improvement in the nerve conduction studies of the patients after 12 weeks of intervention. So the conclusion of my study was that synchronized lifestyle modification program, physiotherapy, and combination of both are found to be effective in improving neuropathy, balance, fasting blood glucose, and HbA1c in younger age group of 40 to 60 years on insulin therapy, while adjuvant therapy, that is combined therapy, was found to be more beneficial as compared to single therapy While these all therapies, they were not found to be effective in improving nerve conduction parameters in any of the experimental groups. Thank you. Any question?
Thank you, Dr. Taiba, for sharing your knowledge with us. Now it's time to call our next presenter, Ms. Samia Khalid, on stage. She is lecturer in Rafa Institute of Clinical and Professional Psychology, Lahore, and also an executive member of Pakistan Association of Lifestyle Medicine. She is going to present her article on In the Era of COVID-19, Role of Circadian Biological Clock in Mental Health of Pakistani Population. Ma'am Samia, please come on stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The topic of my studies in era of COVID-19, role of circadian biological clock in mental health of Pakistani population, especially during the last year. Introduction. What is circadian rhythm? During the COVID-19 pandemic, when people from all over the world has disrupted life pattern, the researchers of the present era are attracted to study the vital effect of circadian biological clock on people's mental and physical health. Circadian biological clock or circadian rhythm, actually inside the central system, it interconnected with the human immune system. Circadian clock integrated the external environmental changes with internal human physiology. This clock provides temporal accuracy and strong adaptation to the surrounding environment. When circadian clocks are disrupted or misaligned as a result of shift work or social jet lag or other lifestyle factors, adverse mental health consequences arise such as mood disorder, anxiety disorder, or even maybe schizophrenia. Prolonged disruption lead to obsessive compulsive disorder and a psychotic disorder, schizophrenia. This study highlights the major impact of circadian biological clock in our daily life. Pakistan is one of the developing countries where people already struggle to attain the basic needs. During pandemic, high economic strain introduced extra use of electronic lighting in form of night shift work. Sources of light also include a computer screen, smartphone, computers. Today, more than 80% of the people, and especially in Europe, 99% people experience nighttime light. In industrial societies like Pakistan, between 15 to 20% of people experience night shift work. Circadian biological clock control the regulation of pro-inflammatory cytokine secretion as a host respondent of the outside infection, any trauma. Its functioning is disrupted due to the malfunctioning of the circadian clock. The macrophages stimulant found to be arrived in function. In short, in the disruption in the circadian clock can cause inflammatory diseases or comprises mental health problems. In my study, my objective was to explore the effect of circadian biological clock on general mental health of Pakistani population. In methodology, survey research design was used using purposive sampling technique. In sample, I selected people from the Lahore city, sample of 379 males, like 31% males and 69% females with age range of 18 to 53 years participated in it. About participants' education, 46% undergraduate, 39% graduate, and 15% were postgraduates. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, data was collected through Google Form, and all protocols introduced by APA were considered. Measures and analysis to explore the study variables, a 15-item scale to measure circadian biological clock, and a 12-item general mental health scale was used. For statistical analysis, Pearson product movement correlation and regression analysis was used, and ethical considerations were considered. Result shows that the R-square value of was 0.06, revealed that the predictor variable explained 0.06 variance in outcome variables. Findings revealed that circadian rhythm positively predicted general mental health. Like 6% variance means 6% इफेक्ट था circadian rhythm के खराब होने का उनकी mental health के ऊपर. If we talk about the Pakistani population. So conclusion is that quarantine during COVID-19 was a period of storm and stress for the general population. At the time, people are not struggling with unexpected health problems, but also with financial and educational crisis. To overcome these situations, people prefer to work in night shift online education or jobs on social media just to meet their financial expenses. Alteration in daily routines such as late night work, eating in an inappropriate time, delaying the exercise, less exposure to natural environment impaired the circadian biological clock. So we can conclude that COVID-19 confinement contribute to synchronization with CBC that play a fundamental role in mental and physical health of Pakistani population. So the implementation of my studies, there is a strong need for public health awareness program to keep the general population well informed about the importance of circadian biological clock to improve the mental and physical health. The promotion of healthy lifestyle practices is also required to prevent and minimize the long-term adverse consequences. Efforts of Pakistan Association of Lifestyle Medicine to highlight the reasons and effect of life-threatening daily habits are remarkable, but contribution of educational and health organizations also required. Thank you.